Hi everybody! Welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial, we are going to be making shoes for our dolls. Now, these I made out of some scrap yarn that I have. Leftovers. Like this is a leftover, I think this is from a Afghan pillow set I made. A baby blanket and pillow set I made. And then I had some red, I think it's Karen Party. I don't remember what it is, but these are super easy to make. We start with the little sole of our shoe, and then we come around, work up the top, and then you guys can adjust the length as, you know, if you want your shoe to be taller into a boot or if you just want it shorter. Now there is a few things I want to talk about. I followed the exact same pattern that I'm getting ready to show you in the tutorial with other yarns, one of them being Karen Simply Soft, and the boots or the shoes came out way too small. So I would suggest a true 4-weight, so like a thinner 4-weight. I think it might be a little too tight. So, you know, like I said, the Karen Simply Soft. So I would suggest a true 4-weight yarn. However, if you do want to use Karen Simply Soft, I'd jump up to a 4.5, 5mm hook. Maybe that would probably work. We do stuff the toe of our shoe. I don't know if you can see that in there. See the tails right there? All we do is stuff a little bit of yarn in there, and that's to keep the shape of the shoe while it's on the doll, and then obviously while it's just standing. The reason we do that is because our dolls don't have toes, so that just helps make them look nicer. Let's talk about what you're going to need. So any scrap yarn, any 4-weight scrap yarn will be great. You're going to need a 4mm crochet hook, scissors, yarn needle to weave in your end, and then I suggest a little stitch marker or whatever you choose to use as a stitch marker, just to help keep track of our first stitch. And I'm also, before we get started, in the description box, I'm going to have a link to the playlist that's going to have the pants, the shirt, and the shoes, and then there's a dress in there. And yeah, that's it right now, but I'm going to be adding more. Okay, that's it. So get your guys' supplies together and let's get started. Alrighty, so to get started with our doll shoes, we're going to get a slip knot on our hook. Make sure you got enough tail. We're going to need that in a minute. Get that on our hook, and we're going to start with a chain of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and to start round one, I should say, we're going to start with 3 single crochet into the second chain from hook. For Pete's sake, I can't keep the needle in my hand. I've thrown it twice trying to get it. Okay, so not this chain, but this chain. Right into there. We're going to work 3 single crochet. 1. Now I'm going to stop and I'm going to mark that first one. Okay, sorry about that. Something was making a ticking sound, and it was one of my charging cables. Okay, so we got 1. Now we need 2 more into that same chain. So 1 and 2. Now that is a total of 3 single crochet into our first chain right there. Now to move on, we're going to single crochet into the next 2 chains. So here and into the next one. And now we're going to half double crochet into the next 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3. So just 1 half double crochet into each. 1, 2, and 1 more is 3. All right, now into this last chain, we're going to work 8 double crochet. or I'm sorry, half double crochet. And as we're doing that, we're going to slowly rotate our chain to where we're going to be working back down the remaining loops of our chain. So to start off, we're going to work 1, 2. I'm just kind of rotating it as I go. And I'm holding my tail down because eventually we're going to work around that. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see now my work is completely rotated around. I'm going to slide these over the best I can. It didn't even move. 6, 7, and one more is 8. All right, and that is the toe of our shoe. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that tail, and then I'm going to get it out of the way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to half double crochet into the next 3. Now, I know it's a little confusing to look at this and think, well, the next 3 what? Well, if you look right here is the bottom of a half double crochet, and you can see right there that is the remaining loops from the beginning chain. So we are going to half double crochet into the bottom of the next 3 stitches. So all we're going to do is just take your hook, your yarn will be on it, and then just see the bottom of the stitches. So right there, right there, right there. Just put your hook there and push it through, and you're going to go right through the remaining loops of the chain on each one. So find your next stitch, go right in there, and that's what we're going to work around. Can you see? So here, here, and here. That's the remaining loops of our beginning chain that we're going to work into. Okay, so we need to half double crochet into the next 3. So I'm going to yarn over, and I can see right there's my next. So I'm going to go right in there with a half double. Right into that next one, and all I'm doing is just looking for those legs and put my hook right there and push through. So that's 2, and we got 1 more. Right into that next one. All right, now we're going to single crochet into the next 2. So if we look right here, this big hole right there, that is the beginning chain that we worked 3 single crochets into, and then we've got a remaining loops right there and right here. So here and here are where we're going to work those 2 single crochets. So 1 and 1 more and 2. Okay, so to finish the round, all we're going to do is put our hook right into that big hole that we worked the 3 single crochet into at the beginning, and we're just going to work a single crochet into there. So just stick your hook in there, pull up a loop, and work a single crochet. And now we should have 22 stitches all the way around this chain, okay? So now we are going to slip stitch to the first single crochet we have marked. And chain 1. All right, now we're going to move on to round 2. In round 2, we work 2 half double crochet into the very first single crochet we just slip stitched into. So scooch that over a little bit, and we're going to go in there with 2 half doubles. 1 and 2. Now I'm going to stop and mark my first one. And now we're going to half double crochet into the next 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now we are going to work 2 half double crochet into the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Instead of doing two half doubles, 1, 2 half doubles, 2, 2 half doubles, 3. I'm just going to work the 2 half double into the next 6, and instead of counting, I'm just going to go counting the 6. I'm going to count the 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. If you guys heard that, that was my stomach growling. I haven't eaten yet. I'm kind of hungry. Okay, so just expanded on our little toe there. So to finish the round, we're going to half double crochet into the next 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we have 1 more single crochet left. And to end the round, we're going to work 2 half double crochet into that very last single crochet. Now I know it looks like there's 2 single crochet right here, but what this actually is the slip stitch and then the chain 1, and then there's our first single crochet. So this can get a little confusing, but that's not a single crochet, that's just a slip stitch. I don't know what that was. That scared me. Okay, so into that last single, we're going to work 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. All right, now we should have 30 stitches around, half double crochet around. Okay, so we are going to end round 2 by slip stitching to that first half double. It's a little tight. Chain 1. All right, now that was the end of round 2. I'm going to go ahead and stop and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's the slip stitch. That's the chain 1. All right, so we are good. So we're going to move on to round 3, and I need to turn my notepad. All right, so round 3, we are going to work a back loop single crochet into each of those half doubles that we just worked. So even into this very first one that we slip stitched into, all I'm going to do is insert my hook right between the loops and go to the back, and then work a back loop single crochet into there. So just get it in there and then single crochet. Now I'm going to go ahead and just keep working the stitch marker like I have. You may not need it anymore. I prefer to keep it there just so I know that that's my first single and not a slip stitch. Okay, so now we just back loop single crochet into each half double all the way around. Now I want to go ahead and show you guys that this back loop single crochet round, what that's doing, get in there. Oh, okay, forget it. What that's doing is creating a turn. So it's going from the sole of our shoe, and then we're going to start working up the side. So that is going to leave this as the bottom of our shoe, and where our beginning tail is coming out as the inside of our shoe. But I want you to keep this tail because it's going to come in useful after a while. So I know you probably want to weave it in, but don't weave that in yet. Just leave that there because we are going to use that. All right, so go ahead and work the 30 back loop single crochet all the way around, and I'm going to go ahead and get mine done off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm coming back around, and I wanted to show you guys I only have 2 single crochet left, even though it does look like there's 3. That is the beginning slip stitch. So that is not our single crochet. That's our slip stitch. Here's our chain 1, and there's our first single. All right, so I have 1 and 2. So now we should have 30 back loop single crochet around. And now to end the round, we're going to slip stitch to the first and chain 1. All right, so for round 4, we're going to half double crochet into the very first back loop single that we just slip stitched into. Work your half double crochet, and I'm going to mark that one with a stitch marker. And now we're going to work a half double crochet into the next 11. So we should have a total of 12. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I shouldn't have done that because I don't want to confuse you guys, but what I did is I worked 11 more half double crochet, but what I was doing was counting the number of half double crochet I have here. So I ended with 12, but I already had one there, so I had the very beginning one, and then I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for a total of 12 half double crochet right there. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna move on. Now what we're gonna do is work 5 single crochet decreases over the next 10 stitches. So to work the single crochet decrease, we insert our hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Insert it again into the next stitch and pull up a loop. So there's 3 loops on my hook, and now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. That's 1 single crochet decrease. We need 5, so we got 4 more to go. So I'm going to insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And I know the yarn is squeaking, and because I am trying to work these a little tighter than what I normally would. So that was 2, so I'm going to go into the next, pull up a loop, into the next, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. So that was 3. Well, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops, pull through all 3. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 more. Go into the next, pull up a loop, go into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So that should be 5. Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I was getting confused with the half double crochets. Okay, so now if we did this right, we should be able to work a half double crochet into the last 8 back loop singles. So yarn over, go into that next stitch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the very last one is 8. All right, so right there's my slip stitch, there's my chain 1, and here is my first single. So good deal. All right, we got that. Okay, so that was the 4th round. So we are going to slip stitch to that very first half double. And now you should have 26 stitches. Now, oops, I didn't mean for that to happen. Now, if you set this down and you can see your little toe is starting to come back towards the leg of the shoe. So what we're going to do is take that tail and just kind of start tucking it underneath those decreases. And that helps give the shoe a little structure in the toe, since our dolls don't actually have toes. Okay, so that was round 4. Let's move on to round 5. We are going to start by chaining 1, and we're going to half double crochet right back into that same stitch we just slip stitched into to end the round. So work your half double, mark that, and now we're going to half double into the next 7, so we should have a total of 8. So that was 1, and now we worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, so we should have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now we're going to work the 5 single crochet decreases again. So go right into that next stitch, pull up a loop, into the next, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 3. That was 2. Go in, pull up a loop, in, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. That's 3. In, pull up a loop, in, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. That's 4. 1 more. In, pull up a loop, in, pull up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3, and that's 5. So now if we did this right, we should have 7 stitches we need to half double crochet into. So yarn over, go into your next stitch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 more is 7. And I'm going to show you just so we know that that was a stitch. Right there is that little slip stitch. Right there is our chain 1, and here's our first single. Okay, so now we slip stitch to the first half double of the round. All right, and that was round 5. So we're almost done. Now we're going to go on to round 6. So we chain 1, and round 6 we are going to single crochet into the very first stitch we just slip stitched to. And now we are going to single crochet into the next 5. So we should have 6 single crochet together. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so one more time, we're going to work those 5 single crochet decreases. In, pull up a loop, into the next, pull up a loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more is 5. And if we did that right, we should have 4 stitches to single crochet into till we get to the beginning of the round. So single into the next. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So right there is our slip stitch. Right there is our chain 1. And there's our first single. Good job. All right, so now you should have 15 single crochet around the top of your boot, or your shoe. And it should be looking like that. Okay, so now all we're gonna do is work this portion, just single crochet around until you get to the height that you want. Now I have one pair that I did, like these only have, what we're getting ready to do is round 7. I did round 7 and round 8, and they're about that tall, not too tall. But I have another pair that I worked where I did 7, 8, and 9, and they come up up the doll's leg a little bit higher, and then whenever you can just pull your pant leg over the top of the shoe, and it helps hold it on. So I'm actually going to work 7, 8, and 9. But all we're going to do, we just finished round 6, so, well, to completely finish round 6, we're going to slip stitch to that first single crochet and chain 1. Now these we don't have to work near as tight as we did those decreases, but all we're going to do is single crochet right back into that same stitch we just slip stitched to, and you can mark it if you want. I'm going to go ahead and leave it. And then we just single crochet into each stitch all around. And you still should have 15 stitches. If you have 16, 17, it's not going to be that big of a deal. All right, so that was round 7, and I'm going to slip stitch to my first, chain 1, and I'm going to work that again for round 8. So last single, back to my beginning, slip stitch to my first, chain 1, and I'm going to go one more round, single crochet right back into the same one we just slip stitched into, and single crochet around. All right, one more, and I'm back around. So to end my boot, or why do I keep saying boot? To end my shoe, I'm going to slip stitch to my first single crochet, chain 1, pull up a loop, and cut. Okay, so now what we're going to do is a little trick. The toe where we have our tail stuffed in there, we are going to take our yarn, our working yarn, hold that between your middle and your ring finger, and wrap that around just a few times. Cut, and then I'm going to take this little bundle, and I'm going to stuff that into the toe of my boot. Now, the reason I'm doing that is 1, to give it a nice pretty shape. 2, is it helps, sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get that right. It helps the shoe stand up. And I like it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and weave in that tail we just cut. And you definitely don't have to, you know, weave in a little wad of yarn in there. I choose to because I like the way it looks. Now I'm just running this through the leg of some single crochets. And I'm going to pull that through. But before I'm going to cut this yarn, what we're going to do is take our fingers into our little shoe and just kind of work those stitches, loosen them up a little bit. And now I'm going to cut. All right, now we just make another one. And then, once you get your other shoe made, we can put them on our doll. So I'm just take my leg, pull up my pants, and it kind of stretches that leg out a little bit. And then I do this again, get those stitches loosened up, and then just twist it like that on my doll. Then I take my pant leg and pull it down over my shoe. Just like that. All right, pull up this pant leg. Twist this boot on. It's going on, but I need to do that. There. That just goes right on there. Now pull the pant leg over my boot, or my shoe. Dang it. Not a boot, it's a shoe. And there we go. If you guys can go crazy with the colors you want, I've made myself several little pairs. Matt, he only got one pair. He's got his brown pair. Well, I thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little tutorial. This was super fun to make. I hope you guys make a whole bunch of these for your dolls. And that's it. So hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Leave me a comment. Subscribe if you haven't, because I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of more stuff that I've got in my brain to get out into yarn to get to YouTube to you guys. So thanks again for watching. You guys are the greatest. You know that. And check out the description box. I got links to all kinds of stuff down there. My Facebook group, Instagram, Twitter, Etsy, my email address if you need any questions whatsoever. Follow me on all those and tag me in what you make, because I'd love to see your guys' dolls and the clothes you make for them. Also, I'm going to have a link in the description box to a playlist that's going to have more clothes that I make. Pants, shirts, and then there's a dress there too, okay? I'm going to make a note of that right now. Link playlist. All right, guys. That's it from me. Until next time.